If you've ever wondered how long it takes to get results with calisthenics training, well, this video is for you. My name is Nicholas and I'm the founder of Online Calisthenics. And today we're going to break down the exact timeline of progress with calisthenics training. So let's get started. Well, first, there's the first 3 months. During that time, you will get what we call the beginner's gains. This is where you will train on your essential movements. So think of pull-ups, push-ups, dips, squats, and the hip hinge. So knowing how to use your core to lift your legs. If you can't do full movements yet, this is the time where you will learn the progressions to go towards the full movements. So if you can't do a full push-up yet, you can go down to a knee push-ups, for example. If you can't do a full pull-up yet, you can use a band for assistance or start with Australian rows. This is those 3 months where you start learning those foundations. Your body will start adapting to your routine. You will gain strength and stamina. You will solidify your foundations and learn all the little tricks on how to place your body in order to succeed with the foundations. In the meantime, you will start losing weight and you will get more toned as well. Then after 3 months, you will get used to those beginners progressions and you can move on to harder ones. So if you've been doing knee push-ups, maybe now you can do full push-ups. If you were practicing pull-ups with a band, then now you can probably start doing pull-ups without the band, maybe just one to get started. But this is where the real progress will start to materialize and feel tangible to you. Your form will get cleaner on all the compound essential movements. You will start to increase the volume of the movements that you can do, and you will physically feel the gains and start feeling little muscles that you didn't know you had before. You'll get muscle definition and toning, and you will keep losing fat if this is your goal. Then comes the interesting part. From 6 months to a year is really where you're going to start solidifying your foundation. So after a year of training, you should be able to do all the foundation calisthenics movements that we mentioned before, and that should start to feel more natural along the way. So you should be able to perform pull-ups, squats, dips, push-ups, and knee raises, and start to increase the volume of those foundation movements. Your body will have changed by now. Between the first month and the 12th month, you will see a clear progression. Here are some examples of progression that you can have within a year. That's pretty realistic. A lot of my clients got it, and this is you in the future as well. Now what happens after a year? This is where things get really interesting. From year 1 to year 3, it's going to basically be the essence of your progress. Now that you can master the foundation movements, you're going to try to step it up. So once you master the movements we talked about, now it's time to increase the gains and step up to harder movements. From year 1 to year 3, you will start implementing harder movements such as the handstands, the muscle up, and maybe start to touch on the front and back levers towards year 3. Then after 3 years, this is where you stepped your game up. So that means that you're able to do all the foundation movements with a high volume, maybe around 15 pull-ups or more, maybe 30 push-ups or more, and so on. And basically you became a master at foundations and you started to dab into harder movements. Maybe you can now do a handstand and you're working on your muscle up. After year 3, you mastered the foundation, you started working on the harder movements, and maybe now you can perform clean handstands and maybe a clean muscle up. Now it's time to step up your game again. So within year 3 and 5 is where you will keep implementing harder and harder movements. Maybe you will start doing human flags. Maybe you will start to dab into the planche and so on. After year 5, here you are. You mastered the foundations, you now master more advanced movements, and this is where refining happens. Refining is where you can do most of the movements in your calisthenics spectrum, but you detect little techniques that are missing. So maybe your ribs are not really placed properly on each movement. A lot of time pull-ups are not exactly symmetrical. We tend to over pull on the strong arm and under pull on the weak arm. So this is where you're going to start balancing things out and notice the little things in your body that needs to be corrected and improved along the way. Remember, that's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Calisthenics is a long-term game. So Don't be frustrated if you have things to work on, because this is the whole point. As you keep working on these things, you will get better and better. So now we've passed year 5. So from year 5 to year 7, you will do that. Adjustments, refining, getting better. And then year 7 is where mastery happens, really. You became really fully aware of your body. You keep fine-tuning the little things. And this is where you can start helping others. This is where you keep refining your body as you're mentoring others to pass on your knowledge, and make sure that your techniques are valid. If they work for others, then that means you're on the right path. And really, this is not the end goal either, because after that, once you start mentoring others and refining your skills, you can start implementing other sports that are connected to calisthenics. Think of rock climbing, martial arts, parkour, and so on. Really, even running. All of the bodyweight sports are now accessible because you master your own muscle chains, you have better technique, you don't feel any pain when you move. So really, the sky is the limit. Every sport is accessible, and you can start getting better at those as well. So start training smart after year 7, because this is where the fun begins, really. Make sure you don't get injured, and if you have little aches and pains, then make the time to make those disappear. Replace your body, make sure that the alignment is clean and that all your movements are as good as possible. And you will see there is no limit to this game. It's always about refining technique after you've mastered the essential movements. So if you're ready to take your training to the next level, I have dozens of programs, hundreds of videos, and I've helped thousands of people over the last 10 years. So feel free to reach out, click the link below, and I'll see you in the next video.